Results driven. What is up? This is Daniel McClam, co-founder over here at InvestorBase. I hope everybody's doing well. It has been a while since we launched with y'all. It's actually been about a year. So I'm excited to share with y'all today some of the updates that we have done to the product that have allowed us to essentially quadruple in size since November when we launched with y'all back then. So a lot of really cool features that have come out in order to essentially create us and establish us as a all-encompassing disposition software for your business. So excited to show you some things that we got today. And let's just go ahead and dive right in. All right. I want to have pure value today, just in regards to the product and what you have access to here at InvestorBase. And so that's what we're going to do. All right. So I have uploaded an address in here. And before we search that, if you are not familiar with InvestorBase, we are a disposition software for wholesalers and flippers. What we do best is we identify the most likely buyers for your deal. All right. So when you come to us, we give you access to an estimated 10 million real buyers nationwide. Okay. So there's no geographical limitations to the software. You can be trying to move a deal out here in Georgia, or you can be trying to move a deal out here in Oregon. We will produce the most likely buyers for your deal with their phone numbers attached. Okay. So the search functionality is super simple. I'll give a brief overview if you have not used it, and then we'll jump straight into the new features that we have launched. We type in the subject property that we're trying to sell. This one is in Memphis. We span the radius out as far as we want. We're going to keep it on 2 miles, keep it on 2 years. Toggle between flippers and landlords. Property types, we have everything between single family and land. And then we're going to turn on the skip trace and save toggle. Okay, so not only is this going to save to our mini CRM, which there have been loads of updates to and automations, but this is going to provide us with the contact information for these buyers. So essentially, InvestorBase is a traveling buyers list for you. All right. So you press search, and what the software is doing is we're breaking down what historically was a 4, 5, 6, 7-step process, and we turn that into one click of a button. Okay. So what we just did in about 5 seconds historically would take about a full day of scraping, scrubbing, then paying to skip trace. We do all of that for you in one click of a button. All right. So that's the simple stuff. Let's get into some details of what we have added here recently. And first things first is a major feature that we just launched actually yesterday. It's called linked deals. All right. So I'm assuming that people have seen the product. So you understand what we're looking at here. But if you haven't, actually, before I get into linked deals, the blue icons over here, or what we just produced, is 137 results for fix and flip and buy and hold transactions that have actually occurred within that 2 mile, 2 year radius. Okay. So the blue icon is going to indicate a fix and flip deal, right? So when we click into an icon, we see the subject property, the specs, the purchase price that flipper bought it for, the price that flipper sold it for, the turn time of that deal for him. We see Metro Cities properties. So then we're pulling in the entity information, right? So we give you the LLC name, the registered agent being Wesley Cornell, Mobile 1, Mobile 2, Landline 1, if we have that, okay? If you want to audit this deal, the flip algorithm is about 95% accurate. So we are producing flippers based on the fact that they have actually done a deal. So there's no other way to get into InvestorBase as a buyer result. You have to be doing deals, all right? Landlord icon, the only difference is we're going to provide their number of linked properties, which has now turned into linked deals, which is what I love to show you because we just launched this feature. All right. So let's just take this buyer over here, Richard Crouch, for example, with Memphis Investment Properties. I used to actually sell deals to these guys, but we see that they have 1,100 linked deals. Now you might be thinking in your head, okay, well, that's just their current portfolio, like what you'd get on PropStream or something like that. But no, we took this a step further. So we are now able to identify all of the historical flips that a buyer has ever done. Okay. So we just clicked into him and we see on a map view all of the flips. I mean, we're tracking 1,164 flips or deals that Richard Crouch and Memphis Investment Properties has actually done. So this has not been able to be done before. We are digging deep into the archives to actually pull this data in here. And you will see that some of these properties are going back They're prioritized by most recent on the map view, but some of these are going back all the way to like 2002. Okay. So if you wanted to vet a buyer in your market, if you wanted to see, hey, who is paying the most in my market, if you wanted to see, hey, it's a rural deal, who is the mom and pop landlord that owns 50% of the rentals in this town, you can find out all of that information so easily. Okay. So what we can also see is out of his 1,000 flips, his average purchase price is about 190,000. Their average turn time is 120 days, which is quick. Their average purchase ARV percentage is about 49%. Portfolio, type of property types, you name it. So a ton of analytics portion that we just launched that will allow you to identify the top buyers in the markets that you're currently operating in. Right. Next up is the analytics section. Okay, we realized probably a little bit earlier than November last year that about 95% of our user base is utilizing InvestorBase to underwrite their deals. Okay, so what we provide for you is something called investor comps. So this random address that I clicked on is obviously some weird specs. So there's not a lot of investor comps for this one, but let's span it out. Let's just say it's a 3-2, 1,500 square foot house. What we're able to do is pull in recent nearby similar investor transactions that were done. Okay, so what we're looking at is the price that investors actually paid for deals, and we pull those together and we produce an estimated price that an investor will likely pay for this deal. Okay, so you see here we're looking at 3-2s, 1,500. All of these are around that 3-2 range. They're all around the 1,500 square foot range. They're all within a mile. And we are actually displaying the price that investors are actually paying. Okay. And we could toggle these numbers and produce essentially, if we see that an investor will likely pay 81,000, we know in our brain, and our acquisition team should know, hey, we need to contract this sub 80,000. Okay. So it's an extra piece of underwriting material that you can utilize in your business when making offers. All right. Same goes for retail comps. So we just launched this live yesterday. You can now come into InvestorBase and compute ARV extremely quickly. All right. So we pull in sale comps for you. You can come in, toggle the filters, and see, hey, what is the ARV of this property? There's obviously some low ones coming in here. So we just filter those out, do a little bit more filtering with this, and produce that for you. All right. So moving on to some additional features that we've launched. You can build your buyers list by simply clicking on a buyer and add them to your list. You can check all of these and push them to a Zapier function that will push them to an SMS campaign or also a dialer or an email campaign. The dialer is actually in-house now in InvestorBase. So as long as you have an extension, then you can hook up your dialer within the software. So communications have been a big thing that we've been working on this year, and they are rolling out and already rolled out, right? Next thing I'll show you is the My Deals section. Okay, so this is where you can come in, and whenever you run an actual deal, you'll be able to track your marketing and campaign progress. All right, so this is the deal that we just ran. It is in underwriting, but then we have buyers found, some other statuses here, all the way down to closed. When we click into the deal, a lot of the updates that we made to this have been making it a much more easy for you to organize your marketing campaign on the dispo front. Okay, so we have all your buyer statuses up here. We have your touch points, so how many calls you're actually making to these guys in text. When we click into, let's say, Albert Butler here, we are able to take notes. Let's say we spoke with him, spoke with Albert. We can change his buyer status. So let's say he's interested in this deal based on our conversation. We can mark him as interested. Touch points, let's say we called him one time with a double call voicemail text. We can mark first touch, verify phone numbers, and move down the list, right? So as we are moving through InvestorBase and doing buyer outreach, either us or our dispo VA or our dispo manager is able to track their own progress, but you're allowed to now really hold them accountable to making sure that they're doing the right amount of touch points, the right cadence of calls. You can come back and check their work and see if it's yourself or if it's someone else. Hey, how many calls did we make for this deal? How many buyers did we actually reach? How many interested buyers do we have, right? And you want to just move these guys down the chain, okay? Once again, you can push all of these people to a Zapier function and shoot them a bulk text or a bulk email or push them into your CRM. All right. One more thing I'll cover is the My Listings section. Okay. So the first thing that a buyer asks for after they say they're interested is they say, what are the details? Great. Instead of me getting off the phone and saying, well, what's a good email for you? Click. And then you sending them the details and then waiting for a response and playing the follow-up game. What we recommend doing is coming into InvestorBase, creating a landing page for your particular deal. So let's find one that has some photos in here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Let's say, where is it? Somewhere in here. Anyways, we can click on one with just some photos. So essentially, this would populate a landing page for your deal. Okay, it has all of the specs of the property, all of the details, everything that that buyer could possibly need. This is a templated version, but this is what a buyer would see. Okay, so when that buyer asks and says, hey, Daniel, what are the details? Instead of me getting into a follow-up process with him, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drop this link, copy it, and text it to him while I'm on the phone. Okay. And instead of playing a follow-up game, I say, well, hey, Jerry, if you don't mind, man, if you check your text real quick, I just shot you over a link. Do you mind clicking on that, making sure that worked? Pulls it up. Now me and him are both on the phone reviewing pictures together. And the goal is by the end of this call, I'm going to know whether this guy is actually interested in this deal or not and know whether I need to prioritize him. So it's a way to separate yourself from the competition. You see that we have your logos, your branding, your colors up here. It will not even say InvestorBase. Okay, so this is your customizable landing pages to separate you from the rest of the wholesalers. All right. So a lot of good value adds here. Buyers can actually make offers through the portal where they make an offer. So you're consolidating offers in one spot. And all of this has been new since November of last year. We got a lot of good stuff coming in 2026, but this has helped us grow to where we are to date. We're excited to be a part of the community. If you are interested in InvestorBase, we do have a discount running between now and the end of the year. What I will tell you is that we will be rolling out tiers in which what you have access to today will likely change. Okay. I can't say for certain whether that price that you have now will go up, but this is a great time to get in before the new year because, once again, we will be rolling out tiers. That is not an urgency piece. That is just me telling you that we have not changed pricing once since we launched in April of 2024. And this is the time that we are doing it. So this is a very timely event that we are rolling this video out to you. But hope all this makes sense. If you are interested, I would highly recommend you book a one-on-one demo with our team. Okay. If you've heard about us, you probably have heard about us, but you're just interested, just come and get a one-on-one demo with our team. We'll show you exactly what we have the capability to do for your business. And we have a 14-day free trial to where you can just plug in, check it out, try it out, make sure it works for your biz, and then get going. So look forward to seeing everybody. We'll have a link down here to give you a discount upon signing up. And yeah, appreciate everybody being results driven. Thanks.